Toxic masculinity.
First story, Joy Reid. People on Reid would trade tax cuts for ability to openly say N-word.
Yeah, this is
I just have a question. Why tax cuts?
of all the things. Yeah,
Why?
I don't know. Hold on, let me get to the. There we go. She just picked something that she feels is like a Republican issue that we.
I think that's what she feel like she will give up.
Well, but so Democrats always want to raise taxes. Republicans always want to cut taxes. That's pretty much consistent all the time. So that's something that's always been important to us. It's always something always will be important to us. So she's basically saying conservatives want to say the N-word so badly. Conservatives want to be openly racist so much that they would be willing to give up this, issue that's so important to them that it's pretty much always on the table every single year. Tax cuts, they'd be willing to give that up just so that they could be openly racist against black people. That's how racist we are.
No intro today?
Oh, I almost forgot.
No
the
jokes
intro.
today?
Oh,
Chris,
I
what
almost
is
forgot
going
the
on?
joke.
What is
I
going
don't
on? The
know.
people are asking, like, Chris, what are you doing?
You gotta remember. You gotta remind me, darling. All right.
I don't remember that. People do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ready for the intro? This is Toxic Masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
I love that. All right, so joke of the day. Hold on, where is it? I got it here somewhere. I had set it up. All right. You ready? You ready for this? All right. Trump used to have a button in the Oval Office to alert aides to bring him Diet Coke. Joe Biden has had this button removed. Hunter then had it replaced with a button for regular Coke. But
Well, isn't it one of your tweets?
Valeria, stop giving away my secrets.
Okay, next time I'll just fake laugh.
You
Like I
fool.
heard it for the first
Yeah,
time.
fake laugh. That's what you need to do. So all of these jokes are all on my Twitter page. I tweet every political joke I come up with, and so but they're all original jokes. They're either jokes that I've come up with, or Valeria's come up with, or my friend Kurt. He occasionally comes up with one, and I post it. I don't think that's it. I don't think there's anybody else that contributes to the jokes on my Twitter channel, Twitter whatever. But they're mostly mine, mostly my jokes. All right, so let's get right back into it, shall we? God, I really messed today's broadcast up as usual. As I always say, guys, least professional show on YouTube. I really should make posters saying the least professional show on YouTube. All right, so she thinks people on the right would trade tax cuts for. So she tweeted this. She says, I'll say it again. People on the right would trade all the tax cuts for the ability to openly say the N-word, like in quote unquote the good old days. To them, not being able to be openly racist and discriminatory without consequence is oppression. Trump is the avatar for this freedom. Okay, so this was in response to this news story, right? This news story that was tweeted out by this journalist, Barry Weiss. And this woman, she's written here, self-censorship is the norm. So the story is about how conservatives tend to be silenced by leftists in various industries, at work, various regions of the country. You can't express conservative ideas without being ostracized or maybe even losing your job. And it's not just true of conservatives. It's even true of some leftists who have ideas that maybe counter the mainstream left-wing narrative, which is now crazy radical left. It's called The Silenced Majority, subheading, in Red America and Blue America, an epidemic of self-censorship is threatening democracy. And this is a quote pulled out of the article. Self-censorship is the norm, not the exception, a student at one country's top law schools wrote. I self-censor even when talking to some of my best friends for fear of word getting around. Thanks to Desert News for the invitation. I guess somebody invited her to somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, for fear of word getting around. So basically they're saying I can't say what I think as a conservative, or I can't say what I think even as a leftist, some people, without people that are radically left, radicalized, trying to cancel them or trying to ostracize them or trying to hurt them in some way. Opinions are being... People are afraid to express their opinions in America. Now, we've known this for a long time. We lived in Hollywood for a long time. Definitely that has been occurring here for, I don't know, decades. Ever since I've lived here, it's been, if you try to express a conservative idea in any way whatsoever, you're in trouble. But then Joy Reid interprets this as not that we want to express conservative political ideas, but rather that we all want to be racists. And let me just say this, okay? I am sick of talking about racist crap on this show. I'm sick of talking about racist crap on my show, Mr. Reagan. I'm sick. Oh, hello. What happened to your camera? Your camera
No
died.
idea.
Can you fix it? I'm sick of talking about racist stuff all the time. All the time. All you get is racist this, racist that. Republicans are racist. This is racist. That's racist. I mean, it's exhausting. It's exhausting, you guys. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. All right? We need to put this to bed. Look, Republicans are not by their nature racist. They are not racist in, even in the sense that, like, a majority of conservatives are racist, something like that. That's not true either. All right? White people are not intrinsically racist. All right? Racism from white people toward other races. Racism from white people toward black people. This stuff just doesn't exist really in America anymore. Sure, there are some racists. Does it impact most black people? No, it does not. Is it systemic? No, it is not. I'm done with it. The stupid accusations are ridiculous. When I was a kid, I posted this the other day. When I was a kid, we didn't even really recognize racism anymore as a thing. It was like an archaic thing of the past. Right? You could see it in movies depicting racism and stuff like that, but you wouldn't really see it in real life. Nobody cared. Everybody judged you by your character, whether you were black, white, female, male, whatever. It didn't really matter what you were. It just mattered who you were, right? It mattered, what you did as a person. Were you an ethical person? Were you an unethical person? Were you an enjoyable person to be around? Were you a detestable person? That's what people cared about. It didn't matter if you were black or white. Nobody cared about that. And I grew up in Oregon, so maybe that was something that I just experienced in my unique little bubble, but I don't think so. I think in the 80s, we had more or less overcome the racist problem in America. The racism problem was more or less over.
Not being racist is racist.
Yeah.
Jose.
I think that we've gotten to that point now, because they've gotten to a point now where they're like, oh, hello, Valerity is completely
Oh my
out of
gosh.
focus.
There's something inappropriate going on there.
Well, and the left has basically recognized, I think. Oh, the front, or you could put it on autofocus if you want. Anyway, the left recognized, I think, that we were in a place where things were no longer really perfect. Where things were no longer really racist. Things had gotten much better. Things had gotten to a point where things were more or less equal. You had equal opportunity and all this kind of stuff. But, there were a lot of people like, Al Sharpton, people like that, who they basically made their living. They basically made their fortunes, made their fame on race baiting, on saying white people were racist. And if you could no longer say white people were racist anymore, you had to invent new kinds of racism to point to, right? So it was no longer good enough for somebody to say the N-word or to be actually, like, take some kind of racist action against somebody. Just by being white, you were instantly racist. Calling somebody racist became the new form of being racist, right? Being racist against white people was a way of pointing to them and saying, you're racist and we hate you all, and I'm just so sick of it. I'm sick of the whole racist thing. We got to stop with this whole flipping racist thing. We're not racist, okay? We're not a racist country. Maybe black people are more, still have a problem with it, okay? Go into the black communities, tell them to stop being racist like we did with the white people in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Did it shut off again? I think we're just going to have to do it without the camera, sweetie. You screwed it up earlier today.
Did I?
Yeah, she turned it on without the battery. Without it plugged in, the battery died, and now it won't.
I wonder,
Yeah.
when Those lefties gonna run out of ideas what is racist and what is not.
I know. I know. Well, I don't think they'll ever run out of ideas because there will always be some kind of a way that they're going to be able to twist reality and complain and say, oh, the world is racist because X, Y, or Z. As long as black people aren't running things.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering yesterday. I told to my friend, I wonder when is being beautiful considered racist, and the Joe says, Valeria is so cute, she's racist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think that no matter what your problem is in life, if you're black or Latino or something like that, you can very easily, and you can convince a lot of people of this, you can very easily point to white people and say, oh, this is because their society did X, Y, or Z. You can convince people that, darling, what are you doing? It's not going to work because the battery's dead. So even if it's plugged in, it's not going to work. Sorry, it's not my fault. I don't know why you didn't plug it in earlier. She's like looking at me like she's all upset. Nothing I can do. You want to sit here?
No.
Okay. Well, I gave you the option. All right. Anyway, the point is I'm friggin' sick of it. I don't understand why people like this actually are able to work at MSNBC, right? It's a company that's owned by NBC. It used to be one of the most respected media companies on the planet. This racist woman works at NBC. Like, if this was a white person that said the kind of stuff that she says, they would be fired instantly anywhere. But she says all kinds of racist stuff all the time, and it doesn't matter because she's Joy Reid. She's a strong black woman. Give me a break. NBC, you need to figure out that black people are racist, okay? They can be racist. And this woman is one of them. And she's exacerbating the political divide in America. She's exacerbating racial tensions in America. She's doing everything that we don't want to happen. She's making happen in this country. It's not Trump, right? It's not Trump supporters. It's not Republicans. It's not conservatives. It's people like her. She needs to go. Fire her. Nobody like her should have a job. Okay, people like her that go around saying white people are evil, blah, 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 blah. I mean, just like there shouldn't be, we shouldn't be hiring white people going on talking about how horrible and stupid black people are, right? That would be terrible. In the same way, Joy Reid should not be allowed to be on television talking about how awful and stupid white people are. She's a horrible racist and she should be fired. I was going to read through this. It's a little bit long, but I think we should probably move on to the next story. Sorry, I got a little bit too pissed off. But anyway, this whole story is basically just about how normal people... I'll read a little bit of it. There are feminists who believe that biological differences between men and women... there are journalists who believe that their job is to actually tell the truth to the world, even when it's inconvenient. Doctors whose only creed is science. Lawyers who will not compromise on the principle of equal treatment under the law. Professors who seek the freedom to write and research without fear of being smeared. In short, there are centrists, libertarians, liberals, and progressives who do not ascribe to every single aspect of the new far-left orthodoxy. And they're talking... this woman's talking about how she had to resign from the New York Times over the hostility to free speech, the hostility to open inquiry. She says that she hears almost daily from people who feel that they've been silenced because of this totalitarian leftism. And this article is just great. You guys should probably read this article if you have time to do so. Barry Weiss, just look her up. But anyway, so this guy commented on the Barry Weiss thing. Talked about how white people want to be racist, and then this woman Joy Reid comes in and basically says every white person wants to say the N-word, and we're all willing to give up our firstborn child for that. Right, that was Valeria's joke earlier. No, we would not give up our firstborn child to say the N-word. No white people even care about saying the N-word. You're crazy, Joy Reid. You're a crazy racist. You're completely out of touch with reality. You know nothing about conservatives. Get off the damn air. Next story. Unless you want to say something, darling.
No, I don't.
Okay. Moving on.
90% of COVID deaths occur in countries with high obesity levels.
Oh, yeah, this is an interesting story. So,
Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.